Okay, we are recording, guys. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are watching the recording, but there's no gentleman on here right now. Welcome, people, to Team Eat Sweat Praise Team Call. Today is March. Oh my gosh, it's March, you guys. It's March 6th. How is it March 6th? I have no idea. But I'm Cindel, for those that don't know. I think most of you guys know me. We're going to talk tonight about 5-star service, so 5-star customer service. That's going to be the topic I'm going to cover. Any announcements? Kate, Christy, do you guys have any announcements? Kendra? We did start wave 2 for 80-day obsession for a team thing. So you guys, if you are doing 80-day obsession, or if you're jumping in, or you have people and you're like, I don't have a group that I'm hosting, or maybe you don't want to have them in your main group and you want to have that like one-on-one with the 80-day obsession, get them in this group. Seriously, we start Monday. It's go time. We're doing prep week right now. Any other announcements though?
We will be starting a diamond, dash to diamond. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to name it yet, but diamond code on Monday. And so that it's going to be an action-based training. So it's not going to be like a ton of trainings that are going to add to your time to make it more complicated or like stressful. It's going to be more like accountability, like doing the things that you need to do. We'll be giving you tips and things like that to build your business, build your team, and get you to a solid kind of diamond rank. We want to do this now because if you're trying to achieve this rank before Summit, you can be recognized at Summit, which is super cool. We want you to get there and then get the qualification status for the 6 weeks. So that is in April. So that's why we're starting now. It seems crazy. And then the other thing is we do need to know who all is coming to Summit so we can start thinking about rooms. So I'll be posting that in the team page, as well as a call for success partners. So if you're looking for a success partner, I'll be putting kind of like a dating type thing up. We can do success pods, success partners. So be on the lookout for that too, because I think that's something that's so important for your business. So that's all I have.
Do you guys know those, like, I don't know what they're called, but I know I've seen videos where there's like a date and you have like 20 seconds to talk to the person and then it's like time's up, you have to move to the next person. If we could do that for success partners, it would be hilarious. But maybe we'd actually get people paired together really quickly. Anyways, other things. No, I'm blanking out. Daily Sunshine. That's on sale this month, you guys. It's down to $100. I think it's actually a little less than 100, right? I think is what the price. If you guys have not tried it, my kids really love it. I go back and forth because my kids also drink Shakeology, but it's a nice additive thing and it's not as heavy as Shakeology is. So it really is a perfect snack for your little ones. So definitely if you have people that have little kids, show them that. My husband actually really likes it. So there's that. And then I thought of one other thing I wanted to tell you guys, and I totally blanked on it. Andrew, were you going to say something?
Yeah. Do you know, do we get the discount then on top of that discounted price? I haven't checked it out.
No.
Has anybody?
Do we?
Yes, we do, Kendra.
Okay.
I think it brings up at like $74 or something.
What? I didn't know that. I obviously read that FAQ really well. There was something else going on in March that I'm really blanking on. Was there something on the Diamond Insider, you guys? There was one other announcement that I thought I was going to make. If I think about it, I'll come back to it. But let's jump right onto the call. Oh, do you remember what it is, Kate?
No, but I have one really quick thing. To earn a free ticket to Summit,
Summit, that's exactly what it was.
Oh, yeah. So Summit ticket prices are reduced. And then if you're a brand new coach that signed up in February or March, and you qualify for Success Club in March, April, May, you can earn a free ticket to Summit. And you should purchase your ticket, and then they'll refund it if you do earn that ticket. So hit Success Clubs 5+ in those 3 months, March, April, May, and you'll get your free ticket. Okay.
Thank you. It was Summit was what I wanted to say. Like when we were talking about something, like, I have to remember that. Thanks. Okay, so let's jump into giving 5-star service. So you guys heard a little bit about this if you were on our team call a few weeks ago. We talked about our leadership retreat. So Kate, Christy, and I were out at the New Leaders Conference, and you guys, you want to go to these things. You want to be invited. And look back at that call. We did talk about like how to get on it. I know Kate posted the FAQ in our team page on what the qualifications are. you guys, it's really cool. Like, it's really just nice to know that there's not a secret sauce. It's all about hard work. And the takeaways that we talked about on our last team call about like our big points, that's what it comes down to. There's not a secret sauce. It's just putting in the effort and moving forward with your business. So I'm going to talk about the piece that really hit home for me while we were at that leadership retreat, and that was 5-star service. I'm going to make one more note here. So often, you guys, we put together like PowerPoints or slideshows for you. And I find sometimes I get distracted with that. So I did not do that this time. I was like, oh, I'll put together something simple with like little things because I love putting those things together. But often I just spend a lot of time doing it. And really, I just want to talk to you guys. So please write down notes, but go back and watch this again and whatnot if that helps. But hopefully there's something that triggers some good information for you to write down. So I'm going to just kind of go through and talk about the fact that, so Kim Fitzpatrick was the one that presented on this. And there were a lot of things that she said that truly were just kind of like a smack in the face to me. Now, when we talk about 5-star customer service or being 5-star, I think a lot of times we think of a hotel or a restaurant or something along those lines where customer service is expected to be good, right? We're supposed to be in the customer service industry. Everybody's supposed to put on a smile and be chipper and everything's just happy-go-lucky, right? Like that's what you expect from customer service. That's really not what we do, okay? But we need to have 5-star customer service in a whole different way. This isn't about being super chipper. This is about truly being the person that you needed when you were in that dark place, or that reason that you reached out to your coach or whatever it was. What was it that drew you to this? I know for me, and I maybe have a way different experience than what you guys did, but I was in a really, really dark place when Kate reached out to me. I was battling postpartum depression, which at the time I didn't even realize that's what I was going through. In hindsight, I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely where I was. And I probably had it with my other ones. It wasn't as severe as it was after my third, but I didn't even know that place where I was at. And the fact that she reached out to me and moved past the fear, which Christy talked about on a team call, which was amazing. You guys, she moved past that fear and she decided that she was going to give me 5-star service, up to the point that when I joined as a coach, this crazy lady was over in Europe and she was talking to me, trying to get me like through this coach training thing because she believed in this thing. And I was like, I don't know what the heck you're doing. And I failed out of it, you guys. I totally failed out of it. And nonetheless, she still gave me 5-star service, which, you guys, I'm terrible at trainings. Ask these ladies. I'm horrible. I'm good at hosting trainings. I'm terrible at doing trainings. I just am. But that doesn't mean that these ladies don't. Like, they've always given me all of their love and support and attention, and that they give that 5-star service. And that's what you want to give your clients, you guys. You don't want to treat these people like they're a number or anything like that. You want to give them 5-star service. So yes, it's not about the chipper, super smiley, whatever. It's about being attentive. So that is my number one thing I want you guys to think about, is you have to be attentive and know your client. And a lot of times, you guys, we get really caught up in the numbers game, and we get caught up in this whole like, oh my gosh, I have to hit Success Club and I have to do this and I want to increase my income and whatever it is. We get caught up in all these numbers when really we just need to take a breath and listen to what they need, because there's a reason that these people are reaching out to us. And if we're just going, oh, you want to lose weight? Awesome. I have a great program. Here's 21-day fix. Let's get you started. Here's the link. Go. And then you wonder, why didn't they buy? Like, why didn't they purchase it? Like, you have to truly slow down your process and really get to know them so you can provide that service that they need. Because you don't want to be spewing some generic thing out to them, because who likes having a cold call, you guys? Like, who likes that cold invite? I got an invite today that I was just mad about, because this is the third time this girl has sent me a dang cold invite for some stinking lash blast or lash boost, which I use and does work, by the way, you guys. But this person from Rodana Fields, this is the third time she has messaged me. I'm like, did you not even look back at the other messages that I haven't responded to? Don't be that person. Don't be the cold message and whatnot. Don't give them this generic answer, because that's what you've given everybody. Listen and be attentive. That is the first key you have to do with customer service. The next thing you want to do is be thankful. Now, I have a little story that goes with this. because sometimes we forget to thank them for reaching out to us, or we forget to thank them for sharing. Because you guys, it's hard to be the person that goes, this is where I'm at, and here you've asked me all these questions. Now I'm going to be really honest and answer them honestly. It's hard for our customers to answer a lot of our questions honestly. If you look at what my assessments, you guys, and you have all this information is in our drive on what I say to my customers and clients when I reach out to them and how I assess them. That's all in the drive. So definitely look at that stuff. But I ask a lot of questions, and when I'm going through them, the next thing I do after they answer all of my long questions, because there's a lot of them, I thank them, because it's very hard and it makes them very vulnerable to answer some of the questions, because I'm asking, when you look in the mirror, what do you feel like? How is it with your relationships? I'm asking those hard questions because I want to know them and I want to know what the hard truths are. And you have to thank them for being vulnerable with you. Now, here's my story, and I'm going to talk about Dyson, which is what I talked about on the other call, but I'm a little obsessed with Dyson. And this is one of the reasons why. The first time this little piece broke on my vacuum, which is broke 3 times, which kind of irritates me, but at the same time, their customer service is so amazing, I will not go to another vacuum company. But the first time I called and I said, this is what happened. The guy was great. He was like, oh, yep, it's this, blah, blah, blah. And then he paused and he said, thank you so much for calling us. We are going to take care of this. And I was hooked right there, you guys. I was like, you're thanking me for calling you and you're going to replace this for me. Okay. Like, that seemed really backwards to me, you guys, but it hooked me. Like, it seriously hooked me. And another 2 times that the same piece broke on my vacuum, I didn't really care because I'm still going to be calling them. And every single time they have thanked me. And I'm sure that's part of just their wonderful script that they use, is they do thank their customers. But you guys, that's just being good customer service. You have to thank these people for being open and vulnerable and reaching out to you. So the next thing is, you need to do what you say you're going to do then. So here you have this person that they're hooked in. They're like, okay, you thank them. They've been vulnerable with you. Now you have to actually have that follow through. So when you tell them that you're going to help them be accountable, you have to actually do that, you guys. And I know I have ran groups where I have not done this. I have let people just disappear and been like, oh, they're not participating. Oh my gosh, this just stinks. And I've complained about it. Instead of reaching out to them and saying, hey, girl, what's going on? Are you doing okay? Checking in. Because that's what a friend does, you guys. And that's what we want to be. We want to be good friends to these people because they are our clients. And you never know. Some of these people might be coaches and end up being some of your best friends long term. You have no idea. But they deserve that, you guys. They deserve us to hold them accountable when we actually say we're going to. So one of the things, and here's a tip you can write down, one of the things that I've been doing with my groups is I have a list in my tracker form, and you guys, our tracker forms are right there in the drive. So that information is right there for you. But if you don't know where to get that, please let us know. We will direct you all the little ins and outs on how to actually get to those forms. But I have everybody in my month that's participating in the group of the month. And I seriously every morning, copy the whole list and then paste it into the comment section of the check-in for the night before. And then I go through and I delete whoever actually checked in. And then I just like enter them all in. And I'm like, tag, 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 all the way down. I do that every single morning. I try to do it after I've chugged my Energize, before I do my personal development. That's my goal time. That's when I want to get it done. But you guys, it doesn't take very long. But I have my whole list. It's already there. It's usually, well, I have 5,000 tabs always open on my computer. But it's in a tab. I literally copy that whole line, paste it in, boom, it's done. Erased. Obviously, you erase the people that already checked in, but that's it. So that's just one little thing that I do to help actually do what I say I'm going to do. And when you notice that they're not checking in, and once I've hit day 3, I send a message. Okay, I send the message of, hey, how's it going? I noticed you haven't checked in. What's up? Doesn't have to be anything that's really scary, you guys. A lot of times they've had a sick kid. A lot of times work has just been absolutely crazy and they haven't been on Facebook and haven't thought about it. But I was the one that they reached out to, or I reached out to them and I said, hey, I'm going to help you get results. But if I just say, oh, darn, they disappeared, and I didn't hold them accountable, you guys, you're just another coach that just disappeared and they're being disappointed with. Don't be that coach. Okay. Be responsive too. You need to be messaging them back. If they are reaching out to you, asking questions and tagging you in comments, you guys, you do need to respond to those. Now, that doesn't mean you need to live in your group. You do not need to live on your phone. You need to set your business hours, but you do need to respond to those people. Now, here is a tip, and I learned this last summit, which I was like, oh, that is so great. When somebody is asking you questions over and over again, which some of you guys will have some people in your groups where you swear they just ask you question after question after question after question, and they're constantly like privately messaging you. You need to stop them and say, that is a great question. Thank you for asking. Do you mind asking in the group? And I'll respond to it there. And within 2 times of doing that, you guys, they're going to start asking within the group and say, hey, tag me. That's totally cool. But then you're like killing 20 birds with one stone by answering that question within the group. So be responsive, but also manage your time well by using those little hacks. All right, my next one is having a system in place, you guys. Now, this is something that I think a lot of people, I know for me personally, it took a long time to get my system down. I used to run groups. I was constantly making new groups over and over again. Kate and Christy and Kendra, you guys can all attest to this. We did new groups and new groups and new groups and a new group every single month. Now all of mine are within one group. I create an event within that group, and that way everybody that's in the group, all of my clients that are in there, they see that event. They're invited to that event for the following month, and then I know who is participating in that challenge that month. It helps keep it all in one place for me. Then I don't have to be going, okay, who's doing this? Who do I need to move into the next group? Find those little ways to have a system that works for you. Now, this might not work for you at all. You might try this and be like, no, this is not my thing. Find that system that works for you, because you guys, when we tell people that we're going to hold them accountable, then you need to actually do it. But if you have a system in place, it's going to make it a lot easier. April, I see you're asking a question. Is this the challenge tracker on Facebook? I do Facebook. Christy's your go-to for challenge tracker. I don't know what it is about the challenge tracker. It does not function well in my brain, so I'm sticking with Facebook because that's where I like to run mine. If you run yours on the challenge tracker, you guys, keep doing that. Don't do what I do. Do what works good for you. Does that make sense, April? Where are you? I don't even see you on my screen. I can only see a few people here. Sorry. Okay. Let me close this. The other thing you guys want to do when you're giving good customer service is, you guys, you have to be asking for feedback. So I almost always am asking people, like especially my gals that they've fallen off and they're wanting to jump back in, and they're like, I want to do this. I want to jump back in. I have started making it a habit of saying, how can I hold you accountable? How can I do this? And it kind of puts the ball back in their court too, because they have to actually, give you an answer. And then you're like, okay, you need me to do one-on-ones with you, or you need me to call you out if you miss. Like, it gives you that little bit of, I don't want to say a one-over, that's not the best words to put, but it gives you a little bit more control, because they've given you that thing that is going to help you hold them more accountable. Sorry, I'm seeing Kendra's popping up too. Kendra says challenge tracker is so much easier. Psh, whatever, people. Kate's on my side. Kate's like, no, it's not. Yes, I'm glad it works for you guys. If you're struggling with Facebook groups, please do check out the challenge tracker. There is some amazing qualities to the challenge tracker. Like, it really is good. It just doesn't work for me right now. Maybe someday. I'll keep practicing at some point. Okay, but ask for that feedback, you guys, and then use the feedback. And here's the other thing. It's really easy, you guys, for us to focus on all the negatives. It's easy to focus on like the people that disappear and the people that they complained or that you didn't help because they just fell off the bandwagon or whatever. It's really easy for us to focus on those. When you get good feedback, when somebody says, thank you for being my coach, when somebody is like, oh my gosh, you changed my life. Because if you're a new coach and you don't believe me now, but you're going to get those messages. You stick with this long enough, you will get those messages. And they feel so amazing, you guys. It feels so good for somebody to be like, thank you so much for listening to me, and knowing that you really treated them well. That there's something so fulfilling about that. You need to save those messages. And when you've hit a point where you're like, oh, this is hard, you need to go back and reread them and know, okay, what was I doing here? How did I provide them that good service? Was I following my system? Do those pulse checks, you guys, to see and know that you have done good customer service, but call yourself out too when you haven't, because I know there's times, you guys, that I have not done good customer service, and that's okay. Which leads me to the next point. You need to give yourself grace. If you have not done good customer service and there are points where you're like, I totally bombed that group, I don't know what I was doing, you need to give yourself grace and take a breath. No different than we do with our fitness. If you have a bad day and all of a sudden your nutrition just went not good, take a breath and you start again. And you dive in 100%. The other thing that I think was the point that really smacked me in the face, you guys, was when Kim Fitzpatrick got up and she was like, you have to make yourself irreplaceable. How many of you guys have reached out to a client that has said, oh, I had this coach, but she just wasn't really good. She just didn't really listen to me, and she just did da-da-da, and like on and on and on. I've had so many of those people. And honestly, you guys, it's kind of scared me because I'm like, oh, I don't even want to work with this person. What if they say that about me, you know? And you guys, there's those people. There's people out there that you are just not going to please. And it doesn't matter if it's you or Melanie Mitro, they're just not going to be happy with their coach. There are those people out there. But there's also people out there that really have tried their best. And I talked to a gal just a couple days ago. She's like, I tried connecting with her over and over and over again, and she just wasn't there for me. And that just broke my heart, because I'm like, there's a lot of coaches, you guys, that do that they are just, I don't want to call them the hobby coach, because I think it's okay to be a hobby coach if you're doing what you actually say you're going to do. But they're sometimes the coach that they're like, yeah, I'm going to do this, but then they totally disappear and they don't participate in their groups themselves. And then they just completely are out of the game. Don't do that. You know, you have to give your customers what you said you were going to do. And I feel like I've said that over and over. I think I've said that 15 times during this call, but I hope it drove home. You guys, do what you say you're going to do, because that's what's going to be the part. And you really do want to be irreplaceable. She talked during her speech about how she's like, you want to bring the magic in your groups. Like, you truly want to be like, bring on the magic. Here you go. This is what we're going to do. When you feel like your groups are getting boring, you guys, because a lot of what we do is really monotonous stuff. It is. I mean, we're posting something inspirational, motivational. Here's a tip, blah, blah, blah. Now let's check in. Like, it's the same thing every single day. And we're tagging people. And a lot of times we're tagging the same people that I'm like, dude, you know, check-in is every night at 7 o'clock, but yet I still tag you every single morning and you still don't post it until 9 o'clock the next day, which is fine. I mean, I don't really care, but it's a lot of monotonous things, you guys, is what we do. But if you just decide that you're not going to show up, then you do turn into that coach that just disappeared, that somebody is going to complain about at some point, that says she wasn't there. And I don't think there's one person on our team that has that in them. Like, I think every single one of you guys are bomb and are amazing and can be like the best leaders ever. We all have our off days. I have them, though I don't believe Melanie Mitro does, because she's like the most amazing time management person ever. But I'm sure she has those off days too. We all do. But just know it's okay to have the off days. You just have to keep going and knowing that you're going to give your best that you can give at that moment. Okay. That's my main parts. What questions do you guys have? Any thoughts? I feel like we should have recorded the first part of it, because Laura was asking some really good questions that weren't in relation really to this topic, but they were really good.
I thought it was, wait, was somebody else going to go?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought it was awesome, Sindel, and you really hold all of the key points that she shared at that conference. The one thing I was going to say, because we were talking about the challenge tracker, if you want to incorporate it, what I did is I created a group that's 365 days long, because now it used to be like 1 month that you could do. And so then I just add my new people in there. So if they want to at least track their Shakeology and workouts, and I know Sindel does that too, they can. So they still have access to the My Challenge tracker if they like to like cross things off. And then you just have that one group that lasts the whole year. And so you don't have to like recreate a group every month or anything like that. You just add to the one group.
I think that's great. Yeah.
I thought it was great too. I will just really quickly, if you don't mind me sharing about the Challenge Tracker app for those who might want to use it.
I was about ready to say, I think I'm going to rope Kendra into doing a call on My Challenge Tracker apps.
But, just a couple of just benefits in case you didn't know about it is one, it does all the tracking for you. You can literally see straight up and down. You don't have to look for anybody. You don't have to wonder. You know whether or not they drank their Shakeology and they worked out. It's there for you. Two, a lot of the people that I've had on the Challenge Tracker app love that it's their place. They're tired of being inundated with Facebook notifications and being added to groups that they don't even know what they're a part of anymore. And I think we've all been there, right? Even having like a team page and then a group and all that stuff, you're like, I don't even know, and you miss things. The Challenge Tracker keeps it all kind of in the group. And then being able to send messages individually to your challengers in a mass way is really, really convenient and time saving. So I can say, okay, here are the girls who've missed 3 days of Shakeology. And I just click a box with their name and I send a message, hey girl, I see it's been a couple of days. And I don't have to go into Facebook and get distracted because I do. It's my own separate place. And so I haven't been doing it this month because I've been doing the 80-day obsession group and I love the Facebook groups too. But I think you can get the atmosphere you want out of both. If you show up, like Sindel said, you should be showing up. So I just wanted to, for those of you who are wondering kind of what the benefits would be, that would be a benefit in terms of saving you time. You can schedule all of your posts over and over and over again. So anyways, that's it. Sindel.
And every time Christy talks about it, I'm like, why don't I use this? And then I don't show up. That's why I don't use it. I'm on Facebook and I show up to Facebook. But that's what works for me. And I love that it works differently for you. You and Kendra should team up and do a call on the My Challenge Tracker app. I know you convinced me of it again. And I tried it and didn't work. But anyways, any other questions, you guys? Thoughts, concerns, any wins, you guys? Is there anything that you guys have done that you've been like, I was a rock star. I gave my customer 5-star service. Any wins at all?
I was going to share this. This was part of the Instagram stories video I posted on the team page earlier. I started doing this a couple months ago, and after my challengers purchased a challenge pack and they kept showing up, so beyond the first 30 days, I would send them a little thank you gift. And it was usually just a couple samples of Hydrate or Energize, something else they hadn't purchased yet, and a handwritten thank you note. And I've gotten a lot of really good response from that. A lot of people have, tried the performance line now and have stuck with it. And you love getting fun mail like that. It's so great. So I know how I feel when I get a handwritten thank you. So it's something very simple that takes 2 seconds. Where did you find those, Christy?
Aren't they cute? I found them at Target. So I'm sending out like gifts and these cards to my 80-day obsession ladies once they're gifted. Don't tell them, especially if you're in this call right now.
Pretend. Be surprised when it shows up, people. Any other wins at all? Laura, I love that. Any tips that you guys do? I know Kendra's bomb at sending out gifts.
Yes, she is. It's not like it has to be something expensive. Like a sample of Energize or Hydrate costs like $1. It's just something like, hey, I thought you might appreciate this. Give it a try. I love having you in the groups. And they really appreciate it. So
It just makes you feel valued as a customer. Like Cinda was saying, when you say that you don't have that one-on-one, maybe you aren't even sending a message via email or via messenger. Maybe it's just in the mail saying, hey, I noticed like today I just popped something in the mail for a gal that lost her daughter and is taking care of her grandbaby now. And every morning her sweaty selfie has turned into one with him. I want her to know that I recognize that and that I think she's awesome for still showing up even though she's been handed this challenge. And so just stuff like that, that's maybe even not really Beachbody related, but it is kind of intertwined. Like, I just think that those are the kind of relationships that really, you know, it makes you a better coach as well. So, but yeah. And Laura and I were talking even today, putting messages out there to share your story, and rewarding those people with just something. You know, it doesn't have to be big, and it doesn't have to be even $10 worth. It could be $5, or like Laura said, a sample of Energize. But when they're sharing their story for you, there's so many other people that are seeing that, and they are friending you on Facebook, and they are going to begin watching you as well. So you might not see the payoff right away, but you're going to see the payoff in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So the investment is there. But like I said, it might just take a little bit of time to get that investment back. So I don't know. I'm all about treating people, I guess, for trusting me, because there's so many coaches out there that are doing the same thing we are. We have to stand out some way. And so I just feel like it's important to do that kind of stuff. So
we have less than a minute. So any other things? I'm going to do a quick story because that's what I do. And we all do, right? Everybody's doing stories. Everybody should be doing stories. Here's my ladies. Team Eat, Sweat, Pray. Team called Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights are like one of my favorite nights ever. And we just talked about 5-star service. I did say Tuesday, didn't I?
Team Eat, Sweat, Pray.
And I hate that it like plays